Hey friend, a quick update for you. My website is officially live. I'm so excited. You can check it out at reneemat.com. And my name is spelled a little bit different, so people get hung up on it sometimes, but it's Renae. And I'll make sure the link is in the show notes in case you need to just click that and get to the website. But this website is where you're going to find all the things that I talk about here on the podcast. Plus, I've officially opened the wait list for my upcoming course. So, if you've been wanting some extra support to finally get those 5 foundational routines working for real life, you'll definitely want to get on that list so that you are the first to know when doors open. The new website is going to be your go to spot to learn more about me, check out those resources I mentioned on the podcast, and get that support if you're ready to create routines and systems that actually work for real life. So when you're done listening, head to reneemat.com, take a look around, pop your name on that wait list. I cannot wait for you to see it. Do you find that every time you sit down to write your grocery list, you are repeating the work over and over? Sure, some of the items might be different, but most of your list contains the same items that were on the list last week. So, one of the ways that we can get time back in our days is to recognize when we are repeating steps like this and simplifying the process so that we can streamline our time. And a simple way to do this with your meal planning routine is to make your grocery list creation easier and less time consuming by using a free tool that I love that is called Google Keep to organize your grocery shopping. So, I'm going to walk you through in this episode how I use Google Keep, and maybe it can help you save time too. Are you ready to stop the chaos, the stress, the overwhelm that's filling your life? I'm Renae Matt, and together you and I are going to build simple routines that are going to change your life. When you put these habits into practice, you're going to be able to organize your life in a way where you can be there for your family, pay off your debt, save money, your house can stay organized, you don't have to stress about what's for dinner, and you still get time for yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the Routine Advantage Podcast. Now, if you're somebody that really enjoys creating your grocery list using a pen and paper method, then this is going to take a little bit of an adjustment. But if you find that you are repeating your grocery list and your grocery list looks so similar more often than not, then I strongly encourage you to create some sort of system to stop repeating the same steps over. Now, I prefer using the digital method like this because it makes it really, really easy to duplicate and to start from like a template and then create and edit as I go. So you can definitely find ways to do this using paper and pen, but I love using Google Keep for several different reasons, but especially for the grocery list creation because not only does it make it really easy to create my grocery list, duplicate my grocery list, and have things on the go, I can do it on the computer or I can do it on my phone, but I also have my grocery list with me at all times. So not only do I have the option to create it on my phone at the time I actually need it, but it also allows me to have access to it at any point throughout the week. So, for instance, last night, we were having brats because it is finally feeling like summer here in Minnesota. And we had brats, and my husband put them on the grill, and we came in, and he was getting ready to, set up his brat. And we were almost out of mustard. So he pulled it out of the fridge and he's like, I'm using the last of the mustard. So I immediately grabbed my phone and threw mustard on our list so that we don't miss it next time we go grocery shopping. So if we're out and about and thinking about these things like, oh, I used the last of that, or we're getting low on this, instead of waiting until I get home to create my grocery list and then forgetting about it, or scratching it on a piece of paper in my purse and then totally losing it, or having 10 different pieces of like scratched on paper where this list needs to come together and then we ultimately forget something, everything is in one spot. So when it comes up to do our grocery shopping for the week, I now have the items that I've been making notes on throughout the week of what we might need. And now they are already on my list for my next grocery shopping trip. So I just love it for so many reasons. It is so handy and useful, but I want to walk you through like how I use it and how to use it if you've never used it before. So it's kind of a step by step, very basic, but I want you to feel confident going into using this tool and feeling like you can do this for yourself too. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create a Google account if you don't already have one. So if you have a Gmail email address, you already have a Google account that is connected to it. So when you create a Google account, you're basically creating a free Gmail email address. You can choose whether or not you want to use it, but you need to create your Google account first to use any of the Google products. So, Google Keep is one of their free options or their free products that you get to use. So, you can use it on a desktop, or you can use it as an app, or you can use both because it's connected to your Google account. So, as long as you're signed into your Google account on your desktop or on your phone, they link together too. So, not only do you have the account that you can access it on either, but it links so the same information is on both as well. So if you're creating a list and you're making notes on your phone, it will connect to the one on your desktop. So when you're on your computer and you want to finish out that list or vice versa, you have access to both and it will make changes to the other one in real time. So I think that is really cool as well, that it is cloud-based. So then we are going to make sure that you're creating that Google account. So like I said, if you don't already have one, just go to keep.google.com. And that's going to allow you to get right into Google Keep and create your account right from there. So that is keep, like KEEP.google.com. So once you create your Google account, you are going to go into Google Keep. So you can do this on desktop or on your mobile app. So you can just download the app if you need to. But basically, you are going to create your list. Now, your list is done by creating a new note. So they call them notes. So basically, it's like Google's version of a digital notebook. So every time you create a new note, you can create something that is searchable. So you're going to create a new note and it's going to give you the option to title it. Now, you could put a title in, you could just say grocery list. You could actually put the week that you're going to be shopping or the date that you're going to be shopping. So you know exactly when you are going to need that specific grocery list if you're making multiple at once. So maybe you're making a grocery list for this week and for next week, and there's things that you know you want to get next week that are not on this week's list. You can definitely do that if you want to. But basically, you just give it a title. So sometimes I'll just put grocery list. Sometimes I'll actually put like Costco or Walmart. If I know the specific store that I'm going to, I will put it on the title so that if I need to search for it later, I know exactly what I'm searching for. So you can do this, whatever you think that you would search for in the title and how to organize it. So then your next step is to go under more options once you're in your note and you're going to select show checkboxes. So this is going to create the little like check boxes that you can click on under each item for your grocery list that is going to allow you to cross it out and drop it down to the bottom as you are shopping. So this is a really handy thing to do. So you could definitely keep it as a note version and it's basically just a list at that point with no checkboxes, but I prefer to add the checkboxes because then I like having that like checked shopping list. And then the next step you're going to go to is to start adding your grocery items. So once you have the check boxes in there, all you're going to do is add an item, hit enter, and add the next thing, hit enter, add the next thing. So you if you're doing, milk, cheese, lettuce, peppers, watermelon, like whatever you're doing, just plug it all in there. And you don't have to do it in any particular order. You're literally just creating your shopping list. Now, once you're done creating your list, that's when we go back through and organize it a little bit more. So, what I like to do is if you go to the left side of your list, you kind of hover over, if you're on the computer, you're kind of hovering over each item. If you are on your phone, on the, like the left side of the check boxes, there will be a little like gray dotted menu, and that is your drag and drop option. So, when you are organizing your list, once you have everything plugged in, you can organize it in whatever way you want. So if you wanna order it by, like, stops, like, maybe you're stopping at one grocery store and then you're stopping at Walmart, you can drag and drop and reorder it in that way. You can also order it by the layout of your grocery store. If you know, like, for me, I know that when I walk in, it's produce immediately in front of me, so I'm gonna go and put all of my produce to the top of my list, and then I know it goes into the dairy section, so I know then I need to put all of the dairy items next, and so it just depends on the layout of my store of where I'm going to be getting these things. And I put it in that order in my checklist. Now, if you are somebody that doesn't maybe know the full layout of your store, or you prefer to have it categorized by like type of food, like maybe you put produce in one whole section and then you put your meat in another section. So even if it's scattered kind of throughout the store, you just know as you're passing by that area in the grocery store, you scroll to that category in your list, and then you know that that's where you're shopping from. So you can reorder your list however you want. And if this sounds like too much work for you and you don't even want to reorder it and you just want to create your list and go with it, then you can do that too. I just find that it is really quick to organize my list, and then I save time going into the store and I don't have to backtrack or kind of scan through my list constantly as I'm in the store to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. If I have it sorted before I go in, I am much quicker at getting in and getting out. And that's a problem for me because I like to kind of linger and look at things, which drives my husband crazy, but that's just who I am. Okay. And then once you reorder your list, if you would choose to, you can use your list as is and just go shopping with it. You can just check those boxes off and go in and then just delete the note when you're done because you've already used it, you've done this shopping list, and you are good to go. However, that's just how to use Google Keep when you are creating your list. If you have a different grocery list every time you go grocery shopping, then that's probably what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to create your list and then delete the note after you're done. But if you find that you are purchasing very similar items every time you go grocery shopping, or every time you go to Costco, or every time you go to Walmart or Target, anything like that, you might want to consider using Google Keep to create a template or a template type list that you can use moving forward. So there are two ways to use this really. So you can either create your list and then once all those items are checked and they're all at the bottom and that it looks like the list is done, you do have the option under menu to go and select uncheck all items, and it's going to restore all those items back to the top of your list. So that is one option that you can do. You just use the same list over and over, just check all those items, restore the items, and then keep using that same list over and over. So that's one option. But another option, which I prefer to do because sometimes it's not the exact same list, even though it's very similar, is I like to use a template. So, what you're going to do if you choose to use a template, you're going to create your list like normal, get it all sorted out, get that main list done. And then in the title, in all caps, I put template grocery list or template Costco list, whatever I'm creating the list for. So once I have template in the title, I go and I click the little pin to pin it to the top of my notes. This means it's going to be very easy to access no matter how many notes I create. This template is going to be at the top of the list for easy access moving forward. And then when I am ready to actually go and start creating my grocery list, instead of using that template, I go to that template and I click on the little menu box, select make a copy. So once I make a copy, then I'm going to edit the copy. Now, you might be like, "Okay, well it says I have 2 templates now." But really it's just copying it exactly from the template. So you just want to look at which one is pinned to the top and which one isn't, because then the one that's not pinned to the top is your copy, and then you can go ahead and take template out of the title, and then it just becomes your grocery list for that one, and then that is the one you are going to edit. So, what happens here is now that you have your copy, you're just going to edit that list. So, it's going to have all of those items in there. You're just going to do a very quick scan and see, is there anything in here that I definitely don't need for this grocery shopping trip? And then you're just going to check them off, and they're going to drop to the bottom of your list, and they're going to get out of your list. And then you've got your starting point of all of those staples, all of those basics that you know you need, and now all you have to do is scan your meal plan and see what else you need to add to your list that isn't already in there. So you're not duplicating that work. You're saving time by not doing all of those things that you are just repeatedly getting every week. You are basically getting your starting point and having all of those items in there. And then you're just adding a few extra things that are more customized to that particular week. This saves so much time, especially once you get used to doing it, because you get faster at it as you go. And it just becomes so easy and streamlined in the meal planning process. And you find that you don't run out of things as much, and you're not forgetting to pick things up because it's always at your fingertips to be able to just make that quick note in the same location every time, and then you can do it. So once you create this new edited list, then you can just use it, and once you're done, you just delete this note, because the next time you need to actually go and create one, you can use the template and make a copy of the template again. So that is what I do. That is what I have found is incredibly helpful. I do this for the grocery shopping list, but also I love using this for our Costco list, because we go to Costco for very similar things every time we go. So I'm able to just make a copy of our Costco template and then review it. And editing the copy doesn't affect our pinned template because I made a copy of it. So when I'm going through our Costco list, I can just check off like, oh, nope, we don't need this, we don't need that, we don't need that, and get it off the list. And then we kind of do a quick review, and it's like, oh, yeah, that we need to add this and this and this. And then we can plug those into the new list. And now we're ready to go to Costco. And we know exactly what we need to get when we go there. So this just makes it so stinking easy. And I hope you give it a try, because Google Keep is one of those apps that just simplify life. Like, I think it is so handy and it's so easy to use. I've used so many different like notebook style apps, and so many of them just get kind of clunky, and they get kind of confusing to use, and then it's like you're kind of wondering like, where did I actually put that? So Google Keep just makes it really easy. It's very user friendly. You can just go in, you can search any keywords or any of the items that you have in your list, and it just pops it to the top, and you select the one you want. But it just makes it so simple. So I hope you give it a try. I will run through those steps really quick again for you in case like I talked really fast or I went over something too quickly for you. But basically, you're to get started, you're just going to number one, you're going to create that Google account if you don't already have one. You can go to keep.google.com, or you can go to your app store and just download Google Keep. Number two, you are going to go and create a new note. Number three, go ahead and give it a title. Number four, under more options, select show checkboxes. Number five, go ahead and start adding your grocery items. Number six, you can hover or click on to the left side of the checkbox, and you're going to see gray dots where you can drag and drop to resort your list in whatever way you choose. And then in number seven, when it comes time to actually using your list, you've really got three main options here. So, A, you can just use your list as is, delete the note when you're done, and then just recreate your list every time. So, that is an option. Option B is that you keep the list, you use it, And then once you are done using it, instead of deleting it, you go under the menu and select uncheck all items to restore your list. And you keep reusing that same list over and over and making edits every time you go into it. Or option C is you build it as a template. So you, in the title, you add template, and then you click and you pin it to the top of your notes. So then every time you go in to create a new grocery list, instead of using that list, you go to the menu on that list and you select make a copy. And then you are going to use the copy, the one that is not pinned, and retitle it to whatever you choose, and then edit that copy as needed. So you can get rid of any items that are on it and edit it completely, and your template will remain the same with an unedited format, unless you're editing the actual template. So that is how you are going to be able to use Google Keep in any way you need to, whether it is just to make a quick grocery list or to create a template if you find that you are purchasing the same things over and over. But I hope that you try it out, you see if you like it, you test it out, you tweak it, however it works best for you. But I hope you give it a try and that it saves you a ton of time like it has for me. Did you love that episode or learn something useful? If so, would you do me a huge favor? My goal is to grow this podcast and help as many women as I can break free from the overwhelm so they can truly enjoy their life. The best way for me to do this is for you to leave a 5-star written review on your podcast app and to share this episode with a friend or in your Instagram stories. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.